Investigation into this week's plane crash in the French Alps. Investigators say it appears the co-pilot of Germanwings Flight 9525 locked the pilot out of the cockpit and intentionally brought that plane down. Investigators say the cockpit voice recorder picked up the screams of passengers and the frantic thuds of the pilot pounding on the cockpit door, locked out intentionally. Investigators say by the co-pilot, who stayed silent as he hit the button to bring the plane down. Now investigators trying to figure out why. KXLY4's Alyssa Donovan is at Spokane's International Airport. And Alyssa, you spoke with passengers. Any of them nervous about flying?
Well, Nadine, the passengers I talked to today say they couldn't imagine something like this happening here. They have a tremendous amount of faith in the U.S. pilots and the programs that are put in place to keep passengers safe. Flying in an airplane, a risk in itself.
I try not to think about the bad things that could happen, I guess.
But sometimes you just have to get where you're going, even if it means putting your life in the hands of someone else.
And look at the responsibility that these men and these women pilots have, and co-pilots. It's a tremendous responsibility.
Jean Dermer is no stranger to flying. She's heading home to Minneapolis, where she works for a federal inspection agency at the airport.
So any news about, an incident so far as the plane crashes gets us all.
Dermer bumps elbows with pilots every day.
It's stressful. It's a very high-stress job.
But the news of the Germanwings plane intentionally being crashed by the pilot didn't make passengers scared to fly, but instead grateful of the U.S. standards.
It really didn't affect, my decision to come out here. I mean, I have faith in, the security in the U.S. and the safety of the planes.
Joseph just flew in from Phoenix. He thought of the pilot while he was in the air.
A friend of mine is a pilot, and I mean, that's a lot of responsibility to have, 100 to 200 to 300, however many people's lives in your hands. And
These passengers all agree. Getting on a plane requires trust in both the pilot and the system.
At the end of the day, you got to fly because walking would take a little too long. So at some level, we got to trust the people that are making the decisions and be grateful that in this country, perceivably, there's more checks and balances being done than in others.
And U.S. airline officials say it's unlikely something like this would happen in the U.S. because United States pilots are never alone in the cockpit. They also undergo several examinations to maintain their license. Reporting at Spokane Airport tonight, Alyssa Donovan, KXLY4 News.